Elon Musk invents just about anything he wants. He has designed electric cars, batteries, solar panels, brain implants, hyperloops, and reusable rockets. Now he's up to something new: electric jets. They say the future is electric. This idea applies not only to vehicles on the ground, but those in the air, too. Today's aircraft run on fuel, but Elon Musk plans to change that by making an electric plane. Oh, and the plane isn't just electric. Musk said he wants it to be supersonic, too. Plus, he wants the plane to be able to land and take off vertically. A vertical takeoff and landing supersonic electric plane could change air travel as we know it. But how does Elon Musk intend to pull this off? Extra high-capacity batteries. An electric jet will need a heck of a lot of energy to get airborne. The first step is to overcome the Earth's gravity, getting the plane off the ground. This step needs enough power to lift the entire weight of the plane into the air. For this reason, ordinary batteries won't cut it. According to Elon Musk, a plane like this would need a battery with an energy density of at least 400 watt-hours per kilogram. That kind of battery doesn't exist yet. Musk said that this technology should be available in probably 3 to 4 years. Batteries in current Tesla electric cars have 260 watt-hours per kilogram. That's a bit over half the minimum requirement that Musk stated for electric planes. As of now, this energy density problem is the main thing that prevents electric jets from becoming a reality. And it's only for takeoff that they need this much energy. The rest of the flight doesn't need much power. Elon Musk explained that when the plane is in the air, in its cruising altitude, it doesn't use a lot of energy. For landing, the plane can use potential energy from gravity, so the plane doesn't need a huge chunk of reserve power for most of the flight. Supersonic Flight. These days, you only hear of supersonic planes in the Air Force. Modern fighter jets like the F-22 and the F-35 can fly much faster than the speed of sound. But these planes don't have passengers and they're not electric. Elon Musk's vision is this. In his Twitter account, he wrote, "There should be a new supersonic jet, this time electric." Even if you're a frequent flyer, you've probably not heard of supersonic commercial flights. That's because they don't exist anymore. There used to be supersonic flights in the past, though, during the 3 decades when the Concorde took flight. Concorde was the world's first supersonic passenger jet. There were 14 of them in service, operating from 1976 until 2003. The era of the Concorde marked a revolution in air travel. When you were on that jet, you could fly from New York to London in just 3 hours. Thing is, Concorde flights were extremely expensive. For example, that trip from New York to London cost $8,000 in 1997. In today's economy, that would be around $13,000. Because of the steep price, the Concorde didn't have a huge client base. Also, disaster struck on July 25th of 2000. Air France Flight 4590, a Concorde chartered flight from Paris to New York, crashed shortly after taking off. All 100 passengers and 9 crew members on board died. People lost faith in the safety of the Concorde, so fewer and fewer passengers flew these flights. In the years that followed, the remaining Concordes flew almost empty. Maintenance was getting too costly, and there were too few passengers to foot the bill. With that, the Concorde made its last flight on October 24 of 2003. After that, all of them were retired permanently. No other supersonic planes were made after that. Fuel consumption is one huge factor that limits supersonic flight using conventional turbojet engines. Concorde was notorious for being a gas guzzler. Just by taxiing to the runway, it would burn off 4,400 pounds of fuel, which was already 2% of its maximum fuel capacity. In flight, it would consume over 5,600 gallons of fuel per hour. Jet engines run into another problem while in the air. These are internal combustion engines which need air to be mixed with fuel before the fuel is ignited. At high altitudes, the air is thin, so the engines have a smaller supply of air. That means they operate less efficiently at higher altitudes. Electric jets don't have this problem. At higher altitudes, while the air is thin, there's also less air drag. In turn, the plane can fly faster, and there are no engines that need a constant stream of air. Vertical takeoff and landing. Again, the ability to take off and land vertically is often reserved for military planes. In the Air Force, there's the F-35, the V-22 Osprey, and the AV-8B Harrier. These planes can take off and land even in places that don't have large runways. For commercial flights, taking off and landing vertically is something no one thinks about. But for Elon Musk, he wants to make that the norm for his electric jets. With this capability, electric planes can practically go anywhere. If the planes are small enough, they can even land on helipads on top of buildings. Imagine if all airplanes were capable of landing and taking off vertically. Airports could be much smaller than they are now. Those humongous runways would no longer be necessary. Vertical takeoff and landing is also safer. With the conventional aircraft today, it's still possible to overshoot a runway, which may cause a plane to crash. But with vertical takeoff and landing, there's no need to worry about overshooting. The pilot just needs to align the aircraft with the landing spot, much like what helicopter pilots do. With that, you can think of Elon Musk's electric jet as a cross between a plane and a helicopter. It would be kind of like the V-22 Osprey, but without those gigantic propellers. Next-generation batteries. Still, the big question remains, where can we find those extra high-capacity batteries? You might have heard of graphene, a nanomaterial which can tremendously increase the energy density of lithium-ion batteries. But graphene and batteries haven't quite caught up in the market yet, despite lots of ongoing research. To reach that elusive 400 watt-hours per kilogram mark, a battery company called Amprius may have the answer. The company claims that its batteries, which are made out of 100% silicon nanowire, can exceed even that mark. The company is also based in Fremont, California, and its headquarters is near Tesla's facilities in the city. If Amprius's claim is true, then their silicon nanowire batteries might just be what Elon Musk needs to make his dream a reality. Disrupting the airplane industry. Electric vehicles are poised to disrupt the entire transportation industry. Taxis could be replaced by autonomous electric cars. Trucks could also be replaced with self-driving electric trucks. Pretty soon, airlines could be disrupted too. Hulking passenger airliners could be replaced with sleeker, lighter, and faster electric jets. If Elon Musk pulls off the vertical takeoff and landing part, then even airports will change dramatically. No more huge runways needed. Also, electric jets will shave off a significant carbon footprint from the air. As of now, the global aviation industry contributes about 2% of man-made carbon dioxide emissions. With that out of the way, the environment would be much better off, and it will help fight the damaging effects of climate change. Without the need for air to power a plane's engines, electric jets can also fly higher, in theory. At higher altitudes, they can fly faster because of less air resistance. In turn, they'll reach their destinations more quickly. If the planes are able to go supersonic as Elon Musk envisions, then it will bring back an era of high-speed travel. In the future, perhaps all flights will be supersonic. Today, air travel is considered the fastest mode of transportation. We've gotten so used to it that we don't think the technology could be improved, but it can be, and Elon Musk wants to change air travel drastically. Though his plans for an electric jet still are not definite, for sure it will change the way we take to the skies. It would also bring back an age of supersonic travel that disappeared 2 decades ago. Once Musk overcomes the battery hurdle, production of his electric jet could begin in no time. The future of flight is electric, supersonic, runwayless, and zero emissions. Certainly, you would enjoy air travel a lot more in these electric jets.